teammates don't quite do it. Learning how to communicate that, articulate what you're seeing. That's been the growth of Caitlin Clark throughout her career at Iowa. Some of those early frustrations with some players early. Now they understand what she's seeing. They understand how to move, and if they're open, she will find them.
Martin commits the foul.
And in for Clark. And draws the foul. 1.6. She goes sprawling. She went sprawling into her own bench.
And it looks like that was whistled intentional.
One-on-one, Sammy Whitcomb with 8 seconds left. Goes around to Gumake. Drives baseline. And shot rejected by Izzy McMagor. Second opportunity is up and in by Nalissa Smith. Very entertaining first half about Seattle, and all of a sudden, we're pretty close. This has been as close as it's been all second quarter long, 44.
From the fiery passion that drives Caitlin Clark's incredible performances to the moments of frustration that have sometimes gotten the better of her, here's Caitlin Clark's emotional message after her first overtime win in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark is known for her explosive emotions, a trait that has been both a blessing and a curse throughout her whole career. In recent games, Clark's frustration is clearly visible as she felt she was hit multiple times without receiving foul calls. These incidents are not isolated though. They have become a recurring theme in her games, affecting her performance and interactions with referees. Clark has admitted to struggling with controlling her emotions, particularly when she feels she is being unfairly treated by the officials. You can clearly see this in her body language and reactions during games, where she often expresses disbelief and frustration at the calls made against her. Clark's intense competitiveness can lead to heated exchanges with opponents and officials. For instance, during the game against the Lynx, she and Nafisa Collier had a notable confrontation that goes beyond just basketball. These incidents highlight the need for Clark to manage her emotions to avoid further penalties. Accumulating 7 technical fouls could lead to a 1-game suspension, a consequence that would significantly impact her team's chances of success, especially considering she already has 5. Clark's passion and competitive drive are undeniable, but they also require careful management to ensure they do not become a liability. Clark's coach, Christy Sides, has been working closely with her to find this balance. Sides often benches Clark to let her cool off when she appears on the verge of receiving another foul. During their loss against the Lynx, Sides decided to bench Clark for longer than usual because she was concerned that Caitlin was going to pick up another technical based on how she was playing. Having to do something like that has been said to be childish by some, but regardless, it is crucial, especially in critical moments of the game. The team cannot afford to be compromised by Clark's emotional reactions every time they play. Since her college days, Clark has been known for her fiery personality and competitive drive. At Iowa, she was celebrated for her three-point range and scoring abilities, but also criticized for her hothead. Her coach, Lisa Bluter, has defended Clark, arguing that there is a double standard between men's and women's basketball when it comes to emotional expression on the court. Bluter believes that Clark's passion and emotions are her strengths, but they need to be managed to avoid negative impacts on her performance. Clark's recent admission about needing to better control her emotions really explains the ongoing challenges she faces. While her passion is a key part of her game, she must find a balance and avoid the outbursts that can negatively impact her performance. This personal admission from her is significant, as it shows Clark's awareness of the issue and her commitment to improving. As the playoffs approach, this balance will be crucial for her success and that of her team. In the heat of the game, Clark's emotions can sometimes get the better of her, leading to moments that are as intense as they are memorable. As she continues to grow as a player, managing these emotions will be key to unlocking her full potential and leading her team to victory. How has Coach Christy Sides and the Indiana Fever's coaching staff been working to help Caitlin Clark manage her emotions on the court, though? Coach Sides has been vocal about the importance of Clark maintaining a level head, especially in crucial moments of the game. Sides often reminds Clark and her teammates that the game can feel like playoff basketball, even in the regular season, and composure is key to success. After the game against the Lynx, Sides said, "That felt like playoff basketball, and I kept reminding our players of that. They are a strong veteran team. When they came out in the third quarter, they really challenged us, and we didn't respond well." The coaching staff also reviews game footage with Clark to illustrate how her reactions can lead to negative outcomes. This approach helps Clark understand the impact of her emotions on the game and encourages her to find better ways to manage those feelings. In those instances, I need my point guard to maintain a level head, get us into our offensive plays, and if a foul isn't called, she needs to get back on defense. We discuss these situations, review them on video, and illustrate why certain reactions can lead to negative outcomes. This emphasis on emotional control is not new for Clark. It has been a focus since her college days. Clark's passion and competitive drive have always been part of her game, but the transition to professional basketball has highlighted the need for better emotional management. What about when Clark reflects on her own emotional intensity? She acknowledges that her emotions are a double-edged sword. While it drives her to perform at an elite level, it can also lead to moments where she loses control. She said in a recent interview, "I think there's a line, and sometimes your passion, your emotion can get to you, but that's not something I would ever change or anybody on our team would ever change." This balance is something the entire team is working on. Clark's teammates, such as Kelsey Mitchell, also emphasize the need to support each other and focus on their play rather than getting distracted by the referees. "I think we need to support each other as a team, focus on our play, and not let the referees distract us. We need to move on to the next play, the next action, and use this as motivation for our upcoming game." The team's ability to manage their emotions and stay focused will be crucial in determining their playoff success and their chances of advancing deep into the postseason. With Clark at the forefront, the Fever have the potential to make a significant impact, but it will require a delicate balance between passion and composure. A few different reasons experts think that Caitlin is like this is due to the pressure and expectations on her shoulders, from the outside world, but also from herself wanting to be the best. The pressure to perform consistently at a high level is huge for Clark. This pressure can really amplify her emotional reactions, making it even more challenging for her to maintain composure during critical moments in games. Clark's frustration with not receiving foul calls, as we also saw in her recent game against the Dream after getting hit in the head, is a prime example of how this pressure can manifest. When she feels she's been fouled and doesn't get the call, it can trigger a chain reaction of emotions that affect not just her performance, but also the team's overall dynamics. One of the key concerns is the accumulation of technical fouls. Clark has already received several technical fouls this season, and if she reaches 7, she will face a 1-game suspension. This is a critical point because losing her for a game could significantly impact the Fever's chances, especially in crucial playoff matches. The importance of emotional control cannot be overstated. If Clark fails to manage her emotions effectively, it could have detrimental outcomes for the team. The Fever have shown significant growth this season, and Clark's leadership has been a key factor in their success. However, if her emotions continue to get the better of her, it could undermine the team's chances of advancing deep into the playoffs. In a recent post-game interview after the Fever's game against the Atlanta Dream, Clark reflected on her emotional struggles and the need for better control. "I think there's definitely a line. I was frustrated and thought I got fouled a couple of times on mid-range jump shots. It happens. Sometimes you get calls, sometimes you don't. It is what it is. I think I could have done a little bit better job controlling my own emotions." So, from the intense emotional struggles that have marked Caitlin Clark's early WNBA career to the critical need for her to manage these emotions under pressure, it's clear that her ability to control her emotions will be a defining factor in her future success. As the Fever look to make a deep playoff run, Clark's emotional regulation will be pivotal. Her passion is undeniable, but it must be balanced with composure to ensure that the Fever reach their full potential.